When are you going back to Disney? Do you have any Disney plans? Making new friends when you're older. What's something you learned while wedding planning that you think others should know? What is your favorite part of the upcoming fall season? How has your anxiety been? Have you found coping skills or tricks that work if it pops up? Well, hello everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Brianna and welcome to this month's coffee chat. I am very excited for our coffee chat this month. You guys came through with some really good questions. I did like a little bit of reading once over, so I am definitely excited for today, and this is gonna be fun. I'm doing this on my lunch break. If you're new here, hi, my name is Brianna. I work a 9-to-5 corporate job while also sharing my fun and chaotic and ridiculous life on the internet for all of you. And I get married in 18 days. I have a fiance, soon to be husband, and we love to travel internationally and domestically, and always chaos. So welcome in, subscribe if you're new. We have a lot of fun. But what I was going to say is I'm doing this on my lunch break today, and right as I was about to come in here to start filming, Corey had to run like a quick errand right before we like took both of our lunch breaks for the day, and he was like, oh, I got you a little treat. And I was like, what kind of a treat? I was like, it's literally 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, didn't you just go out and have to come right back? And he got me a crispy Diet Coke and a 4-piece chicken nugget with honey mustard and a medium fry. So this month's coffee chat is a McDonald's, Diet Coke, French fry, and chicken nugget chat, because that is what we are having today, which is a 10 out of 10. And I'm sorry for anyone, I won't chew loudly, I won't talk with my mouth full, but we are gonna be snacking. So make sure to grab your snack, make sure to grab your drink of, I'm almost choking, your drink of choice, and your chicken nugget, and we are just on FaceTime during our lunch break, chatting away. So welcome in to the chaos of a monthly coffee chat. I'm just feeling like this one's gonna be a good one this month, so let's get into it. Am I right? Because if I don't start the coffee chat, you all know I suffer from constant yapping, and we will be here till tomorrow. Let's get into some questions. First question is, any new favorites, either skin, hair, or home? So yes, I actually do have some new favorites. I'm gonna do one in each category. My first skincare favorite right now is the Tatcha Radiance Face Mask. Now, she is pricey. She is a pricey girl. She is definitely by no means cheap. However, I bought this at the Sephora sale, I wanna say last year, maybe last fall or last spring, and I used it like very sparse, like not very frequent at all, because I was like, oh my god, it's so expensive, I don't want to like use it up too fast, blah blah blah, which was not a very good mindset to have. However, we're leading up to our wedding, and I thought now is the perfect time to start enjoying it and utilizing it. So I've used it probably 4, maybe 3-ish times in the last maybe 6 weeks. I use it like every other week or once a week depending on how I'm feeling, and I really love it. I feel like it's giving my skin a very healthy glow, very radiant. I have not used it in about like a week or so. I do have the Say Glowy Super Gel on with a little bit of concealer and like a little bit of mascara, and that's it for today. But I feel like my natural skin is glowy. I do feel like I have a little bit of oily skin, so take the glow with what you will. There's a little bit of powder on here too, and we're still very much glowing, so it's a little mix of oil and Say Glowy Super Gel. But that is my favorite skin product right now. My favorite hair care product right now, I'm trying to think if I have any. I would definitely say the Day like curly Day like wave texture-y kind of spray. I've been trying to not use much product at all in my hair when I let it come out of the shower and air dry, because I just want to see how my natural curls are forming without mousse, gel, and all that like stuff, because I feel like when you use a lot of that in your hair, you're just like not forcing curls, but it's just not the same. Like I want my natural curls to just kind of breathe a little bit more, and I've been loving the Day like wavy hair spray. I just spray it in my hair, scrunch it up, because again, it's like a fine mist, and then it just kind of keeps the curls a little bit more defined, but it also makes them a little bit brushable with my fingers, which I like. And then I have 2 favorites in the home category. The first is our Ninja Creamy. Carter got that for me for my bridal shower, and we've just recently started using it. The first time we used it, I did a horrible job. I spun it too many times and it was disgusting. The second time it was much better, and I used the correct setting, but it still wasn't as soft as I wanted it. And then we used it last night for the 3rd time, and I used the ice cream setting, then I chose a mix-in, then I respun. Chef's kiss. It was literally, you guys, perfect. Like, when I tell you, that was the consistency that I was seeing on social media that I kept dying to have. Also, I'm dipping French fries, chicken nuggets, honey mustard. That was the consistency that I was like dying for. I finally got it and I was so unbelievably happy. So those are my 3 favorite kind of like home items. Oh, and an honorable mention to our uni pizza oven. I got that for my bridal shower as well for my mother-in-law. We've used it once. We're using it tonight again, but the first time was so fun and I loved using it. So I'm gonna add that in as an honorable mention. I can have everything I'm talking about linked down below. And if you do purchase anything through those links, it does give me a small commission back at no additional cost to you. So for example, if I link a $25 mascara, I might earn $1.50 back because I went through the hassle, or not hassle, but like you went through the process of linking it. So the LTK like gives you a kickback, but it doesn't cost you anything else. Does that make sense? Okay, either way, just wanted to share that. Next question is, what's something you learned while wedding planning that you think others should know? There is one thing that I have learned while wedding planning that has been really difficult to navigate and overcome because of my personality, but there will always be better. There will always be a better or different seating chart. There will always be a better or different menu. There will always be a better and different dress. There will always be a better and different flower arrangement. There will always be a better and different appetizer choice. And the thing that you have to remember when you're wedding planning is that there will always be better, and there comes a point where you need to commit to something. For example, I have been sitting on menus for the table setting for the last probably 3 to 4 weeks because I'm like, oh, well, I like this one, or I like the cursive M on this menu, but I like the left-hand side and the 2 dots on this menu, but oh, I love that this one has the date on it. And at some point, you have to commit. You have to say, this is the one, and just go with your gut and have that decision made. Something that I normally struggle with is like raising my hand for help, or even just like sometimes needing others to help me make a decision. But I am in decision fatigue right now. I am so tired of having to make decisions that I have been leaning on Corey a lot. My mom, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my maid of honor who's my best friend, and then Corey. They have been like the 5 people that I have been just like leaning on heavy because I just need someone to help me make a quick decision. And there's always better, right? You're always thinking about, well, what if? Well, what if? Try not to do that. Try to, when you see something that you love, go for it and give it, all of what you've got. Because if you don't, you will be sitting on items for a really long time, like your wedding and your makeup and your venue and just all these things. Commit. I promise you, whatever you pick will be beautiful no matter what, and you just have to commit to something. Next question, and or more of like a topic, was making new friends when you're older. So I feel like I have been really fortunate through social media to make a lot of new friends as I've gotten older. With that being said though, to be like really brutally honest and like a little bit vulnerable and raw with you guys, if I did not have social media, I do not know how many new friends I would be making at this stage of my life where I currently am. And I think that's because of my surroundings, and I think it's just because of the person that I am. And I honestly believe that, I work fully remote, right? So the idea of getting lunch with someone or filling up my water with someone at the office or getting a drink after work or going to dinner after work with a friend doesn't really work because all of my work colleagues are either remote scattered or in our office, headquarters locations. So I don't really get to do that with as many people as I would like because, again, we're farther away from each other, right? Like I don't live near these people. They live far away from me, some even on different time zones. So I do think that making friends at this stage of my life right now is currently hard. However, with that being said, I'm really fortunate because I do have this platform and it has brought me 3 of the greatest friends and partnerships and joys that literally I could ask for. Carter and Matt, our literal people that we met through social media. I went to Carter's elopement. She drove all the way here for my bridal shower. We drove to Canada for their backyard wedding. They're coming to our wedding here in September. To me, they are extended family. That is my sister. That is my person. I love her with every ounce of my being. And Corey and Matt get along so well. We are a foursome. We are a duo. We have hung out, and I'm so grateful for that friendship. Caitlin and Austin, I FaceTime Caitlin at least once, if not twice a month, sometimes even more, but I've been so busy recently that I haven't had the opportunity to as much as I would like. But the 4 of us, we get along really, really well, and Caitlin and I are super close, and I've been able to find such a fun girlhood friendship with her that I feel like I didn't really have a lot growing up. And then next I would say is Brandon and Heidi, right? Like we have hung out, Corey and I, with Brandon in the parks when we've gone to Disney, and he is just like a big teddy bear. Like I just love him so much, and him and I laugh just so hard together. I find that we're so similar, and we haven't had the opportunity to meet Heidi in person, but we have FaceTimed with them for hours on end. And again, it just feels like family. Like all three of those friendships are so different, but they all bring something so beautiful and so joyous to my life. And I've talked about online how I don't have as many friends as I used to, and I think that that's okay. And I still have all these beautiful memories with, you know, friends that I, you know, went to college with and so on, but we're all just at different stages in our life right now, and we've all kind of outgrown, well, at least I have outgrown certain friends, and I think that's okay. I wish them all nothing but the best on their life journeys and everything that they're doing. It was just that, you know, we weren't meant to be friends forever, but I still get to cherish those memories with them. And I think as I grow older and as Corey grows older, you know, once we are blessed or once we decide to start to have a family, we're also going to meet friends in our life and grow bonds with people in our life that are our kids' parents. You know what I mean? And they'll be our friends, right? So I think you go through stages of your life where there's different things that are around you and in your environment that also help bring you closer to friends. But again, I think if I didn't have social media, it would be really hard for me to make friends, and I honestly don't know if I would be making many friends. And that's just me being like really raw and honest, because I don't really know where I would be meeting people. I don't go out to the bars. I don't really drink. You know, we have our close little group of people, and as the world has shifted and, you know, social media has become what it is, I've gained a lot of friends through that, and that's been really beautiful. But, you know, I think that's kind of my thoughts on making friends when you're older, and I need a chicken nugget bite. So the next question is a little bit in kind of like the similar vein to the question or like topic that was just asked, but I actually love this one. Advice for maintaining friendships in different phases of life when you're married, 9 to 5, kids, etc. So Corey and I have a 9 to 5. We do not have kids, and we are getting married in 17 days, like I said. So I think the way to kind of maintain friendships is, friendships are work. Friendships take time. Friendships take nurturing, and they're very much like plants is kind of the way that I like to see it. So when you have a friendship, when you have a plant, right, it needs to be watered, it needs fresh soil, it needs to be attended to. It doesn't need to be attended to every single day, but if you don't attend and don't make those little pockets of time to tend to your plant will die. And no matter what you do after you've let that plant sit there for a really long time without tending to it, it can be really difficult to get it back to life. So it's about making the time to tend to that plant. So one way that I really try to maintain my friendships is I try to do FaceTime dates regularly with our friends. And even if that's, you know, maybe it's at night, I'll give an example. Me, Corey, Brandon, and Heidi FaceTimed last, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember exactly the day it was at night. And we were on FaceTime for like 3 hours. We did our like uni pizza, and then it was about 8 o'clock. Corey and I grabbed like a little vitamin water and a little drink and a snack, and we sat on the couch and we FaceTimed them for 3 hours, right? I am by no means saying that you have to FaceTime people for 3 hours and that's how you maintain friendships, but my point and like my reasoning for sharing that story is we planned on Monday that we were gonna have a Thursday FaceTime date, and we stuck to it and we held to it, and we got to chat and just catch up and hear about their, you know, wedding plans and their Disneyland trip and how Heidi's doing and finishing PA school and her job, and Brandon getting back into going to school, and what we're looking forward to for our wedding and our trips, and just things in general that I think, you know, you maintain these friendships by giving them a little bit of dedicated effort, right? And sometimes in phases of life, it's a lot easier. So I think a way to maintain and make time is I'll slot aside those little dedicated pieces. You know, right now, pause this video and text someone and say, hey, thinking of you. I know we haven't chatted in a while. Want to call after work today? Do you want to FaceTime, you know, this week? Or do you want to, if you're close to them, do you want to grab coffee on Saturday for an hour or two and just catch up? Or do you want to brew coffee at your house and you can come over to my, or, you know, whatever? Like, make the effort, make the time. And I think it's important that you put your friends and those relationships first. And again, when you're with kids, it's probably a lot harder, right? I can only imagine what it's like because we don't have kids right now, but when we're married, I know for a fact that Corey and I are gonna have to spend a lot more dedicated time to our friends and nurturing those friendships and those partnerships the same way that we're gonna be nurturing our own. So that's a little bit on that, but I would say that's how we I won't even speak for Corey, that's just like a little bit of advice for maintaining those relationships and friendships is set aside that dedicated time. Maybe it's with 1 or 2 friends a week, maybe it's 1 friend a week, maybe it's 1 friend every other week, but just be cognizant and save space for dedicating to your friends. The next question was any festive fall plans. So I'm trying to think if we have any festive fall plans. So we do have a wedding in Maine the first weekend of October. So we are going to be doing like a little bit of a fall weekend in Maine, which I'm really excited about. So that is a little bit of fall festive plans. We have the Big E that comes to our like neck of the woods, our area, the big eastern states. And it's really fun. It's like a big fairgrounds. It's for 3 weeks. So we're hoping to do that before our wedding and our mini moon, like maybe one night during the week. And we will definitely bake some, you know, fall goodies, and we'll paint pumpkins, and we'll go to a pumpkin patch and eat apple cider donuts. So we will definitely get into some of the fall festivities, but with the way that our wedding and our mini moon falls, it's a little bit challenging. So we're trying to enjoy the little bits of fall that we can before we are up and about, but majority of our fall things will be done through the month of October because we'll be home for it. So those are our fall festive plans as of right now. And yeah, that's what we have going on. Just a little bit. We're dabbling, and we're not trying to do like too much this year. Next question is, how are you feeling as the wedding gets closer? I'm 6 months out and already anxious. Girl, let me tell you, I have had 3 nightmares, and they were all in the same night about the wedding. The first one was that a friend of mine announced that they were pregnant at my wedding, like just stood up in the middle of our ceremony and announced that they were pregnant. And I was like, what? Why would anyone do that? So that was nightmare number 1. Then I woke up, went back to bed, had my second nightmare, which was that I had washed my hair and the shampoo that I used stripped the color out of my hair and changed my hair blue and green. So then I had blue and green hair at my wedding. And then the next one was that it torrentially downpoured, but we got like a tropical storm and we couldn't see like 1 inch in front of us, and it was just like bucketing rain, and we were soaking wet at the wedding because we just like, it was bucketing rain. So how am I feeling? I definitely am feeling the anxious. Like I'm feeling like hovering over the fire alarm because there's a lot to be doing. And I feel like where I'm feeling anxious and like a little overwhelmed with a lot of like the little things that need to get done, I'm also feeling at peace and really happy and like just letting what will be. And I think what I've realized through wedding planning is that 2 emotions are allowed to exist at the same time. I'm allowed to feel anxious and stressed, and like we have a laundry list of things to do, while also feeling excitement and peace with what is to be, and like what will happen. And so yeah, I would say like that's kind of how I'm feeling. You're totally normal for feeling anxious even though you're 6 months out. There's a lot of little things that start to kind of pop up and bubble up. And I would say my biggest piece of advice that I feel like I'm only now just starting to do is raise your hand and ask for help. If you need to dedicate or dictate something to someone, hey, I need you to help me do my seating chart. Can you come over in the next 2 months, or can we plan a day? Like dedicate and like delegate, that's what I was looking for. Delegate to other people to help you, because I feel like I didn't do that a lot because I'm a control freak, and I feel like it would have made me feel way less anxious if I was like outsourcing and giving things to other people to do, so that I didn't feel like it all fell on my shoulders. But I am feeling excited, anxious for sure, but more at peace and excited than I am anxious, to be honest. We're getting into a few wedding questions, so we're just gonna kind of rip through the next few. What are you most excited for with the wedding coming up? So I will say 2 things. The one thing I'm most excited for is to do my vows with Corey. We are doing vows, we're writing our own, and I just cannot wait to read my vows to him. I haven't started them yet, but I'm excited to just like share my vows and share my love for Corey in front of everyone. That's like, to me, the quintessential best part of a wedding is hearing 2 people like dedicate their lives and their love to one another. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And then the second thing I'm looking forward to is just like the party. Like I'm excited to dance with my people and just see everything come together in our reception space. And I'm just excited to have all my favorite people under one roof. You don't really get that as much, I feel like, in life. And so the idea of having my favorite people and Corey's favorite people and our families all together to celebrate the 2 of us becoming, you know, a family and becoming one is really beautiful. And so I'm very much looking forward to that. The next question is, do you have any new hobbies? Looking for Rex. So I would say, do I have any new hobbies? I feel like I don't have any new hobbies, but now that the fall is coming, there is one hobby that I really do enjoy, and I like to color in the fall. Like I like to get out my coloring book and my markers and just kind of sit there and color with a TV show on in the back. And I'm getting back into reading a little bit more recently. I feel like that's been something that I kind of put to the side when you're kind of planning a lot of things. I feel like I haven't really dabbled in that, but that's kind of the hobby that I'm into right now. Comment below, do you have any hobbies? Okay, that's a lie. Another hobby that I have is cooking. I love to cook. I love to try new recipes, whether it's spring, summer, fall, winter, anything in general. I love to cook. I find it really enjoyable. And my new hobby that I would like to pick up is baking. I would like to bake more pies, breads, cookies, desserts, that kind of stuff throughout the winter. So hold me accountable to baking and doing that kind of stuff, because it's definitely something that I would like to get into a little bit more. But in terms of new hobbies, no, just kind of the same thing. I enjoy coloring, I enjoy reading, I enjoy cooking, and I'm excited to get into baking as the fall approaches. So the next 3 questions are all kind of similar, like they all kind of feed into each other, but we're gonna answer them individually because we're talking about fall and I'm a fall girl. So the first one is, what is your favorite part of the upcoming fall season aside from your wedding? So my favorite thing about the fall season are fall Sundays. Me and Corey's Sundays are really sacred to us in the fall. We try to enjoy them to the fullest, and that is football Sundays around here are a big deal. My dad was a football coach all my life. I was a competitive cheerleader and just a football cheerleader and for basketball all my life. So fall, like football is big for us, and especially our fall Sundays. And the thing I most look forward to is Sunday at like 3:30 when the 1 o'clock game is kind of coming to an end and we've just had our buffalo, you know, chicken dip, or I've made bell pepper nachos, and then I take a little nap on the couch and I read, and then I wake up and it's time to make shepherd's pie or chicken soup, and we have a nice little like fall dinner, and then we go to bed kind of early, light the fall candles, I read for a little bit. Like, just the coziness of fall is what I would say I'm most excited about for the upcoming season. It's like one of my favorite things. And I feel like this fall we are going to be really intentional about slow living, slow relaxing, keeping our weekends sacred, not doing too much, because we've just been going a lot this year with other weddings, our weddings, to-dos, just stuff like that. So we are ready to relax and enjoy the fall. The next one was, with summer coming to an end, what's the highlight of your summer and what are you most excited for fall? So I just kind of shared what I'm most excited for fall, which is our Sundays, but I'm also excited for apple cider donuts, because I didn't mention that, and I love an apple cider donut and just like crisp air, walking around outside with like a apple cider donut and a pumpkin spice latte. So I know it's basic, but those are the things. And then what was my highlight of the summer? Honestly, my highlight of the summer was our beach days. Like, I feel like we got a few really good beach days in, and I just love being at the beach, sitting in my beach chair, reading my book, and just getting nice and tan and enjoying the summer weather. So that was definitely my summer highlight. The next question was, how has your anxiety been? Have you found coping skills or tricks that work if it pops up? So first question, like the first part, which is, how has my anxiety been? I feel like my anxiety has been pretty good, I would say, for the most part. However, it does show up in some wedding planning right now, because I feel like we're in the really like final stitch. So I feel like I've just been a little bit anxious when it comes to that. And in terms of any like tips, tricks, coping mechanisms, I would say when I'm feeling really anxious, I need one of 2 things, and they're both so different. The first one is I need to be like alone, meaning I need to lay down in bed or like take a nice shower, put my PJs on, get in bed and read or watch YouTube or watch a movie, and just like get my brain and the surrounding world turned off. I need to just like power, like I like to call it like my power down time. I need to power down, I need to chill out, I need to be away from everybody, and I just need me and myself, and we need to reset, right? That's one way. The other thing I need is the complete opposite, and that's when I need Corey around me or my mom or someone to distract me. But I don't need distraction from a screen. I need distraction from conversation or going out and doing something or going out to dinner, and it's when I need my brain to be distracted from thinking about something versus just anxiety weighing heavily on me. So I would say those are kind of the 2 things that I need, or like tips or things that help me. So either me powering down, again, shower, pajamas, in bed with a book or my iPad or watching a YouTube video or a movie. And then the opposite is almost like kind of a power up or like a power distraction, which is when I need Corey, my mom, friends, my family, just anyone around me to keep me engaged, keep me entertained, and like get me not being so in my head, because my brain is overconsumed versus like my heart and my soul feeling overconsumed, if that makes any sense. Next question is, tips for filming in public, does it get any easier? So I would say, yeah, it gets easier, like filming in public, definitely, but sometimes it's still, I even get a little bit awkward holding my camera. And then in terms of just like tips for filming in public, this is what I tell myself. It's not a tip necessarily, but it's like something that I constantly tell myself is, other people, like the people that are looking at you while you're filming in public are the same people that are going to get in their car and scroll on TikTok watching people film in public and like watching and absorbing content. So like, why can't I create my own content? So that's like one. And the second one is I always prop my camera up in an aisle or somewhere where there's not a lot of people around when I feel like I'm like, oh, a lot of people are around, I'm getting a little uncomfortable. So I find that that's something that I do. I'll prop my camera up and I'll just like walk through the aisles, or, you know, I'll talk a little bit quieter. But that's kind of, I would say like tips and tricks, but it definitely gets easier the more that you do it. And I've also just got like a I don't care attitude, and I feel like that has helped me a lot in that sense too. Next question is, are you taking some time off right after your wedding? Yes. So Corey and I are going on a mini moon. We're not sharing exactly what it is, but we'll share it once we come back. And we are taking off time before the wedding and then the week after plus a day. So in total, we're taking off 5, 6, 7, 8 days of vacation. So our first day that we'll be taking off is Thursday, September 18th, and we'll be out of office through the rest of that week, the entire next week, and then into October 1st. So we're out from September 18th to October 1st. So we are taking some time off. Again, a full week of vacation and then 3 extra days, 2 before and 1 after. And I'm excited to take some time off right after the wedding because I just want to chill. I don't want to dive right back into work. I want to go away and go on vacation and just R&R and rest and relax, and I am so looking forward to it. Thoughts on all the Walt Disney World expansions that were just announced? I want to hear your thoughts. So Corey and I actually just did a podcast on our July Walt Disney World like trip recap. So in the beginning of that, for the first 20 minutes, we talked all about the D23 expansions and the announcements and just movies and everything that's coming Disney related. So you can go ahead and listen to our podcast below because we did like a whole chunk segment on that, which you will definitely love. Next was buying a house anytime soon after the wedding. So we are not planning on moving right after we get married. Our goal is to start looking for a house in February, March of 2025, so right after Christmas. And we are not jumping right in saying that we need to buy a house. So I think this is where we are in a predicament right now where when we move, we want to be in our next home for 15 or 20 years, if not almost indefinitely, and we do not want to settle. We want a space that we can grow into or that we can add any additions onto as well as we grow older and we grow a family and so on. So we are not willing to settle. We are not willing to move somewhere that we feel like we'd have to remove again because it doesn't have the capacity for what we're looking for. So that's why I say we're starting to look in February or March to get an idea of the market. However, if we don't find something until September, October, that is fine. We are not in like a rush to move. We just want to find something that feels right for us. We do have a goal. Our goal is to spend Christmas of 2025 in our own home. So we would like to spend Christmas, like our second married Christmas, in our own home together. And if that happens, great. And if it doesn't, we're okay with that too. We are ever evolving with what we decide to do with our life and what changes, and I'm just like taking life as it comes. I think there is no right or wrong thing to do when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, you know, we're hoping to buy in 2025, and if we can, great, and if we don't, that's okay too. We're open to kind of what life is going to throw at us. The next question was also similar to a house, which is, what would your dream house look like? Style, location, etc. So I will say my dream house would be in Boston, Massachusetts, and it would be like a 5-bed, 3-bath with a 2-car garage, and it would cost us $2 to $4 million. So that is not realistic, but what I would say our actual realistic, what feels like it's feasible, kind of like dream home would look like, is Corey and I want a 4-bed, 2-bath. The reason why we say 4 bedrooms is because, of course, we want a bedroom. We're hoping that we have, or we're planning on, 2 kids, hopefully down the road and, you know, in our future. Plus, we would like an extra room, either A, for an office space, / we also would like a guest room. So it would kind of dual as both. And I know that people say, you know, furnished basement, you know, you can work there. Corey said that he can work in a furnished basement. I cannot. I do not want to work in the dark. I don't want to work in a dungeon. I need natural light, and I would really, really struggle if I had to work somewhere every day that was dark. So that is definitely something that we are dreaming of and wanting and really working towards, is a 4-bed, 2-bath. The other thing is closet space. So we need a lot of closet space. We have a lot of travel stuff, travel memorabilia, content creation, books, Corey's golf equipment, beach equipment, New England life. Like, we just need closets and storage. So closets and storage is another, like, I would say dream thing that's really important to us. And then the last thing that's important to me is a house that is designed for hosting. So I am a big host. I do not get to do it really at all while I'm currently living at my mom's, and it's something that I want so bad in our next house. We want to host. If I could host every holiday, I would. I want to host Thanksgiving. I want to host Christmas. I want to host Easter. I want to host every single holiday. I want to host. We want to have dinner parties with friends. We want to host Friendsgiving, you know, a white elephant party, you know, Halloween party, just like all these things. We want all of our friends and our people to be able to gather at our home. And that's always something that's been important to me. My house growing up as a kid in middle school and high school was the house that everyone was constantly at. My dad was a football coach, so we always had football players over. I was always friends in high school with people on different sports teams, so they were always over. I had a really great group of girlfriends in high school that I'm still even close and friends with some of them, so like they were always here as well. I lived like pretty close to the high school that I went to, so I just feel like that is something that I want for Corey and I's future. So I would say the 3 things that our dream home would look like in terms of just logistics would be a 4-bed, 2-bath with a lot of storage and closet space and a really good layout for hosting, like big kitchen, big dining room, that kind of stuff. In terms of layout, I like an open layout, but I also like a mix of privacy. So it's really important to me that we feel like, you know, there's different pockets of the home that feel quiet and feel private, but also, you know, open floor plan, you know, for living, dining, and so on is really, you know, exciting and important to me too. So that would be on kind of like our dream kind of home situation. And yeah, I would say I'm excited to start the house hunting process, but also nervous. So when we do, I will keep you all posted, and I'm gonna need all your tips and tricks. The next question is, what are your goals for the rest of the year? So I would say I have a few goals for the rest of the year. Some are quantitative, like very much checking off a box for X amount of things. And then the other ones are just lifestyle, kind of like more goals for me personally. I would say 2 of my more quantitative goals is to read 10 books. I have not been very much into reading this year, and I really want to get into just more reading and spending time off my phone and more with my face in a book. So I would love to read 10 books this year. And the other thing is I would love to get all of my legal documents changed for my name. So I am taking Corey's last name, so I want to get my passport, social security, get our names on each other's credit cards, bank accounts, like all that kind of like last name, marriage, logistical stuff. I want to get that done. So those are my 2 like logistical goals for the year: 10 books and getting all of our last name, logistical, marriage stuff in order. And then I would say my 2 quantitative goals are, the first one is just chill. I want to live slow. I want to not make too many plans on the weekends unless it's for a few hours on one day, or, you know, maybe 2. I just don't want to do a lot, you guys. I feel like we are just always go, go, go. We're always on an airplane, which I know is like, and some people are probably like, well, you choose to do that and you choose to travel. I know that, you guys. Travel is a big part of our partnership and our relationship and our passions, but I just want to chill, okay? I just want to relax, and I want to eat, you know, good food in the fall, and I want to watch movies, and I just like don't want to make plans. I don't want to do a lot, and I just want to enjoy the 4 walls and our immediate family and our friends, and just take it slow and not feel like I have to cram so many activities into so many things. And sometimes I think I do that because I am on social media and YouTube, and I see all the girlies like doing all their fun stuff, and I'm like, I work a 9 to 5. I don't have time to do anything besides the weekends, and I'm planning a wedding, and we have other weddings to go to, and we have to visit friends, and we're traveling here, and it's like, I just want to chill. I just want to zen. So that is one goal. And then next is I want to enjoy like the last 8 weeks of the year for all of the Christmas season. I feel like sometimes during the year, like last year I did Vlogmas, like 12 days of Vlogmas, which I liked and I enjoyed and I thought it was really fun, but I almost don't want to do that this year. Like I do not think that I'm going to do Vlogmas. I haven't 100% decided yet, but I think I just want to like enjoy the season. I want to go to New York for a day, and I want to just like chill these next few months so that we can really live it up in December and enjoy the holiday season this year, because I feel like last year we did, but we didn't, I think, as much as I kind of wanted to, just because life got in the way. And so that is what I would say I am like most looking forward to, and the goals that I kind of have set for the remainder of the year. And the last question that we are going to end on with this crispy Diet Coke and my french fries and my chicken nuggets is, Brianna, Corey, when is your next Disney trip? When are you going back to Disney? Do you have any Disney plans? And yes, we most certainly do. You guys know we cannot stay away for that long, and we are headed back to Disney in December this year. We are so excited. So we ended up booking a Disney trip for the beginning of December. That way we could still go to Disney before like the hustle and bustle of the holiday season. We are going for a week. I will share dates when we get a lot closer, but we are heading back to Disney. We are going in December for the holiday season. We are so excited, and we are going for about a week. So we're going from a Wednesday to a Wednesday in the beginning of December. We are so excited to go, and if you see us in the park, say hello, and we'll do a lot more kind of like chatting about the Disney trip once we get a little bit closer. But that is going to conclude this month's coffee chat. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed it. It was very catty. It was very chatty and chaotic, as it always is around here, but cheers to you guys. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one.